Have you ever been on a specific journey in your life where you've hit some sort of obstacle or challenge? Once you hit that challenge, you decided that you had to shift your direction away from it because that challenge you thought was an indication that you weren't supposed to be on that path. But in reality, that path was the path that God intended for you to be on. That recently happened to me, so let's talk about it. So about 7 or so months ago, my wife decided to be a full-time mom. We have a 5-month-old son. A 5-month-old? Bro. Okay, let me just restart that. About 7 or so months ago, my wife decided to be a full-time mom, and I was 100% supportive of it. With her becoming a full-time mom, we had to learn to transition into a one-income household, with that one income earner being myself. So at this point in time, I was working, I had 3 jobs or 3 different sources of income, and one was a full-time job that I worked, one was my moving company, and then the last one was my videography business. So I had these 3 sources of income. My full-time job made great money and it was consistent. So that was what was great about it. It was decent money, and I always knew when I was going to get paid, and I knew what amount I was going to get paid every month. My moving company was amazing because my moving company would sometimes earn 2, 3, or 4 times what I made from my full-time job. So it was amazing. It was a huge amount of money. So my moving company 100% has been the top earning income source that I have. And then lastly is my videography business. A few years ago, I was making a lot more money from it. I've kind of put that on the back burner. So I still have a few clients that I work with, but that's not really my main source of income right now. But at this time, when my wife said that she wanted to be a full-time mom, I decided that I was going to quit my full-time job and do my moving company full-time, because like I said, there were months where my moving company would make 4 times what I was making at my full-time job. So I just decided, you know what, I think this is about that time. And keep in mind, at this point in my life, I've never been a full-time entrepreneur. Like, I've always been interested in entrepreneurship, but there has never been something that I created that was making enough money to support my entire lifestyle, let alone my family's lifestyle. But at this point, my moving company was making so much money, I thought, if I go full-time on this, we will do great. And so I quit my full-time job to do my moving company full-time, and I was coming off of having my best month ever in my moving company. So then I quit my full-time job, I went into my moving company, and we had one of our worst months. Guys, I cannot make this up. I literally went from having my best month it's kind of funny to think about. Like, it's insane. I quit my job and I literally went from having my best month to my worst month. So yeah, that happened. And so immediately I started having anxiety. I got super nervous. I got super stressed, and I immediately started looking for another job. I was job hunting for like 3 months straight. I feel like I applied for almost 60 different jobs, and I just was not getting callbacks. Like, there was even one company that I applied to do social media for, and I had a great first interview. They said I did great. They said I was going to get a callback. Never heard anything. Like, legitimately ghosted me. I tried to call them back. Like, I wasn't even getting any callbacks. Like, it was the craziest thing. Like, I could not find a job to get hired at. Like, I literally could not find anywhere to work. I was super stressed, and I'm not gonna lie, I hit a low moment. Like, I was really sad, a little depressed. I was super anxious and just stressed and nervous because I really felt like I wasn't doing my part as a husband and a father to provide for my family financially. In the midst of me being in my job hunt, I would just every day just tell my wife, like, everything's going to be fine. I just need to get this job. Everything's going to be fine. As soon as I get this job, I'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. As soon as I get, I would keep telling her that. And then finally one day she just said, "You keep telling me about all these jobs you're applying for, but have you taken the time to ask God if these are the jobs you need to be doing?" And I'm not going to lie, I love God. I really do. But in that moment, I really was looking at her like, we need money right now. Like, 100% God is the number one and utmost authority in our lives, but we need money right now, and I need a job. And so I was just so focused in on getting a job. Like I was just so focused on the hunt for a new job. But eventually I finally listened to my wife and I sat down and I was praying, but I actually really took the time to tap in with God. I was in complete silence. I had my alone time. It was just one-on-one, me and God. And I sat there and I just prayed and I just asked God, please, please help me to provide for my family. Like, I'm applying for all these jobs, Lord. I don't see how you call me to be a provider for my family and you're not helping me to get this job. Like, you're not helping me to get any of these jobs that I'm applying for. A lot of people have claimed to have heard like a voice when they speak to God. I've never been that person. I've never distinctively heard a voice when I speak to God. I feel like God speaks to me through me reading the Bible or things happening in my life. But it was almost like I could sense, there was a feeling where I felt him say, work on your moving company. And so I realized in that moment that the challenge I faced in that month where I had my worst month with my moving company, it helped me to realize that that obstacle and that challenge was just something that I had to face as a business owner. There's going to be those moments being a business owner. You're going to have low moments. You're going to have bad months. You're going to have low sales. And as a business owner, it's my responsibility to figure out how to jump back from those, how to bounce back. And so I realized in that moment, that the enemy was using that challenge to try to confuse me and make me feel like I needed to get another job, when in reality, what I needed to do was stay on the path. So I tried to take my purpose into my own hands, and I said, okay, I need to get a job, when in reality, I wasn't following the purpose God had for my life. God wanted me to stay on that path. He helped me to get my moving company to where it's at, and instead of digging deep and sticking with it, I decided that, hey, I'm gonna follow my own purpose to support my family, and I'm gonna get another job. And this is the craziest and most surreal thing that happened almost immediately. The next day, I was getting calls for people booking moves. And now, from that moment when I had that prayer, I'm booked up for the next 4 weekends with moves. Literally, after having that prayer. It is the most, I know people talk about things that God has done for them. This was such a crazy moment for me because it was almost instant. It was as soon as I was done with that prayer, the next day I was getting calls for moves and just booking people just back to back to back to back. And I was like, okay, Lord, I get it. You want me to focus on this. Thank you for confirming it for me. So I say all that to say that sometimes you're going to feel like you need to take your purpose into your own hands. And sometimes it feels like our purpose is what we need to be doing, when in reality, we need to be following the purpose God has for us, not the purpose we want for ourselves. And you just have to trust him. It's going to be scary. It's going to be nerve-wracking. You're going to be anxious. But that's why the Bible says God knows we can't handle that. He knows that anxiety is going to get at us. That's why he says to cast it onto him. Put your anxieties onto God and he will help you through it. I just want to thank God for giving me this idea to create this video and to relay this message over to you. I hope and pray that this video touches somebody that could really use it. And for anybody that's going through an issue like this, put it down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Do you feel like you're in a moment in your life where you're following your own purpose instead of following the purpose God has for you? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Also, guys, if you're really liking my content, check out the link in the description if you want to check out the gear that I use. And also, if you want to get on a call with me, you can book a consultation call with me with the link below. If you want to talk about your business, you need any advice, or maybe you want to hire me out to edit some videos for you, anything like that, book a consultation call and we can talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you in the next one.